I watched Nanny McPhee. Those kids were wild. Are you sure you're not thinking about Super Nanny? What was that show where the British matron came to the house of kids? It was like Kitchen Nightmares, but for children. They'd be like, my kids they won't listen to me. They tell me to F off and wish that I was dead. Nanny 911, Super Nanny and Nanny 911. And then Super Nanny comes over and they're like, I wish you were dead, Super Nanny. And then Super Nanny's like, don't say that. And then like a week later, they're like, oh, okay, we're fixed. I almost thought he was simulcasting with recent Twitch updates. I did. This one is not ready for Twitter because just going viral on streamer Twitter is like basically a prison of your own creation. It's always like, it'd be like hey, what did I miss? I wasn't on Twitter that much this weekend. Oh, a 70,000 like tweet that says, let streamers eat on stream. That seems like a good use of everybody's time. But anyway, I did put it in the streamer Discord though. And it was image of, the kid reacting, grabbing the sides of his head. He's like shocked. And it is Twitch streamers being banned 13 seconds into their first simulcast to YouTube because 99% of their content is copywritten. I think it would have gotten at least 5,000 likes on Twitter, but I saved myself by not posting it. I said I'm content making just a couple people laugh instead. Coney got hit with multiple warnings on the first day. YouTube doesn't fuck around, man. How was your ride this morning? Today, I'm back. It took me, DL Guiga was making some serious comments. I don't know if you've seen it, the most active community on our Discord is now the Peloton community. First couple of rides I got back from vacation, DL Guiga said, hey, did someone break into NL's house and properly calibrate his bike? Dude was riding high on the fucking hog. Turns out, not only was I coming back from vacation, this weekend, I also got over an ear infection. So I was fighting off possibly being inoculated with the novel coronavirus by 150 sick senior citizens on my flight back from Hawaii. And I was so excited about having that water in my ear that I smuggled back from Hawaii. Well, so for a couple of those, I was doing okay on Saturday and Sunday, but then during my cool down rides, my body died. I basically my legs shut down. But then today, the Lion bot just posted. So 30-minute 90s rock ride, 201 watts, 30-minute sweat steady ride, 204 watts, 30-minute outcast ride, 196 watts, 20-minute low impact ride, 189 watts. Taking the 90 minutes of hard work, that's about a 200 watt average. We're not quite back yet, but we're definitely, let me put it this way. On Sunday, I don't know if you're here now. On Sunday, DL Guiga wasn't even there. Did someone break into his house and properly calibrate his bike? Today, DL Guiga, they were there for the first two rides. I think maybe the sweat steady ride was just a little too hard for them. I understand. That's it. You're used to getting out of the saddle, going back in the saddle, relaxing a little bit. That one was 25 minutes of pretty solid work. Is Oven Heat here? Oven Heat stayed with me for all four rides today. But there were 7 people on the first ride, 7 people on the second ride. On the third ride, nobody. Just me and Oven Heat pedaling out into the ether ourselves. Just us. People are bringing the heat for sure. I just got the bike. I'm only doing 3 small rides a day. You don't understand that the egg carton is mentally ill. There are people that are just getting the bike and they're like, hey, I'm going to join you for 90 minutes. I don't have 2 hours in me today. And I'm like, brother, that's incredible. The average person with the Peloton is doing 0 minutes a day. Most people at most are doing 30 minutes a day. You got nothing to feel bad about it. Especially if you're just getting started. You're coming in here doing 90 minutes and then making a sad post that's sorry, my legs died. And I'm like, brother, it's crazy they were alive. If this is how you're getting started, you're jumping right into the deep end. Don't get me wrong. I'm not reading that, but there might be some truth to that. Can I tell you, I need to correct a false narrative that I said 2 weeks ago. I said that the downtown Vancouver Costco is washed and the Richmond Costco is goated. This is true. We went there on Saturday, and in terms of the selection inside of the Richmond Costco, it's incredible. But I had never seen this before. We did go on a Saturday. It was like 4:30 p.m. So what do you expect, okay? The parking lot was full to the point where people were queuing in their cars in the lane. So you just pick a lane and you wait for somebody to pull out and then you take their spot. So we waited like, I don't know, 5 minutes and we got a spot. That wasn't even that bad. We shopped. There were people pushing their carts. I don't know, is anyone here? Answer for Richmond, okay? Any Richmondonians or people who from the greater Vancouver area who go to the Richmond Costco? There were adults walking their carts sideways, standing beside the cart and holding it like this, just taking up space for no reason, bumping the wheels into their fucking heels for fun. I don't understand why. There were adults walking in front of their carts with their hands behind them, pulling the cart. What purpose do you have for this? That doesn't even make sense. Like, it's just worse than the way that you walk it normally. And then the crazy thing for me, I just genuinely think there's no hypothesis that fits in my head except that they said it's busy in here, so fuck you. People would park their cart sideways in the lane while looking at shit just to block people. I can't even fathom how selfish or at least self-unaware you have to be to get to that point. But also, I'm not throwing shade here, okay? When you're in Costco, you don't need to look at every single bunch of bananas in order to choose which bananas to get. You just find, they're bananas, okay? I understand if you're buying like a single watermelon, you want to pick up a couple and knock on them and make sure they sound hollow. They're bananas, okay? You know what's going on. You want green ones so that in 2 days they're going to be yellow. Or it's going to be hard to find the perfect like dark green, lime, half yellow, half green, yellow, like to be ready for you. Just listen, there's 15,000 people inside of the store right now. Get your bananas and get the fuck back in the flow of traffic. Then we pulled out, okay, of our parking spot. We got out of there. Everything was fine. I didn't know this at the time. When I pulled out, there's cars coming, zip, zip, zip. So I just pulled out however I could, okay? I backed up, turned my wheel to the left to get into the right lane so that I could drive through the parking lot. Someone immediately took the parking spot that I just gave up. Not my business. Very much was the business of the car in front of me, which then one of the people got out and walked across the flow of traffic and started beating on their window. And I couldn't hear what they were saying, but like she was upset. And then after like a minute, her husband got out of the car and like grabbed her by the shoulders and then pulled her back into the car. And what's fucked up is I'm like, I can understand why you would be mad, but at the same time, now I'm behind your ass in traffic because like you were queuing for the spot, you didn't get the spot, and now you're in front of me having like a road rage incident. And I swear to God, after all that, they just drove straight out of the Costco. I guess they just they were like, I'm too mad to even go inside of the store now. So they left. Which I almost can't blame them because they probably waited like 10 minutes and then their spot got taken and they said, fuck this. But so that I'm never going to that Costco on a Saturday ever again. It's insanity. That is strictly a weekday spot from this point forward. Anyway, we're playing Balatro. I recently learned we only replace like 25% of our lungs with new air. Are we stupid or something? It is crazy to think about. Like, the human body is like amazing, but also terrible. Like, considering the tasks that we do, I know how this sounds. being a human being is like insanely complicated. Can you imagine like another animal driving? Can you even like a really smart animal like a chimpanzee driving on the freeway? They would have a heart attack and die instantly. And people in the United States of America are like doing it while eating lunch and like listening to an audiobook at 2x speed and smoking a cigarette at exactly the same time, having like 5 conversations with random people in their head on 7 different kinds of stimulants. Like, that's amazing that we're like a collection of, you know, organs that are a collection of organelles, that are a collection of cells, that are like an amalgam of like, some of the cells are us, but some of it is just bacteria that isn't even us. But is it us because it also does something for us? You know what I mean? Like, we got bacteria in our gut. That bacteria doesn't have like my DNA, but it is breaking shit down in my gut. So I think as far as I'm concerned, that's me. My shoes don't have my DNA, but those are me. And yet at the same time, then you read something that's like, oh yeah, your lungs only recycle like 25% of their air. Like, can you imagine how powerful we would be on the Peloton if our lungs recycled even 50% of our air? Could have just sold. Brother, you think I care about getting an extra $2? I don't care if I go blind. I don't need to see the price tag anyway. The water goes crazy. I love the color for it. Alien, whose first day on Earth is today. Sorry. Me seeing a beach in Hawaii for the first time? What do you mean, though? This water goes crazy. I love the color of it. Hopefully not an alien from Science. That's damn true. I will spawn 2 planet cards again. I don't know if you've seen Science. That's a bit of a spoiler. Hey, Local Thonk, when does this come out? Are we there yet? February! I thought someone told me that this came out in October, like in August. The next demo is February? Holy! I knew it. What did I say the other day? Probably shouldn't have said it, but I said it. What did I say? I said, you're honey dicking us. I respect it. I've never had the opportunity to honey dick like that because I don't possess any resource that people are eager to get their hands on. So I guess what I'm asking is, what does it feel like to do the honey dicking? Does it feel as good as I've always imagined it feels? You see the Letterboxd review for the Super Mario Brothers movie, which said 3 stars. I showed up to work before we watched this movie dressed like Funky Kong and no one knew who I was. My boss said, who are you supposed to be? I said, just wait, and then they never appeared in the movie. Incredible review. One card becomes wild, can be used as any suit. That is nice. Dude, remember when I used to play this game and never buy tarot cards at all? Like, what was wrong with me? It's because you don't believe in prognostication? That's true. Burton Malkiel ruined it for everybody else. It's an alloy. Can I be honest with things that will not surprise you? I don't know shit about metal. At all. I know what elements are. Iron. Lead. Aluminium. Tin. Scandium. Etc. etc. Although, I think they fucked up the periodic table a little bit. Because, like, sodium, I'm sorry to tell you, that shit is not a metal. That's salt. That's 2 different things. Nobody's like, hey, check out my fridge. It's made of stainless sodium, right? Like, that's not a metal. No one's ever been like... I mean, am I wrong? No one's ever been like, hey, what kind of finish do you have on your car? Is that chrome? And you're like, nah, dude, it's brushed sodium, okay? So that is not a metal. I don't know if it was like Enrico Fermi that got that one wrong, but they really need to go back and examine that one. But whenever people are like, oh, like, what the fuck is bronze? I'm like, I have no idea. It's not like you pull like a big, you know, ingot of bronze out of the earth or something like that. I don't know what bronze, it's copper and tin? That's weird, man. I don't know anything about alloys. How do diamonds factor into all this? What about obsidian? You never played RuneScape? I mean, I've played Minecraft. When I played Minecraft, it was like the most advanced thing in the game was like mushrooms. Speaking of which, my wife and I, we cleaned up all the leaves that had fallen in our yard, in front of our house, etc., this weekend. I don't know what percentage of chat has done that stuff. Probably like, I'd have to imagine it's probably around an even split. They gotta knock that shit out. Knock that shit off, I should say. It had rained for like a week straight. So on the first dry day, we started to get them. The leaf blower does not do well with wet leaves. So we raked that shit up for like 2 hours by hand. Filled up 10, I don't even know how many liters there are. It's probably like 80-liter bags. We filled up 10 80-liter bags with leaves. They don't come to pick it up for like 2 weeks or something like that. So I got to store them in a place where it doesn't rain. And then, like, it took us a couple hours, right, to do this. Looked outside yesterday, especially because our neighbor hasn't done it yet. Looked outside yesterday and I was like, fuck you. You fucking suck. Your yard looks like shit, you piece of garbage. You're disrespecting the whole neighborhood. We're all laughing at you, even though mine looked even worse, like less than 6 hours before. Woke up this morning, looked outside. Can't believe what I saw. 100 million leaves have fallen on the floor. They keep coming, man. They never stop. It's crazy. Then I sent a picture of all of our, like, the bags that we bagged up the leaves in. I sent a picture of them to my mom, and I said, do you guys miss having a yard? And they said, no, but I've done that before, usually while my teenage son was inside playing video games. And I got mad at her. I was like, yeah, I know. That's why this shit sucks so much for me now, is because you didn't instill any discipline in me when I was a kid. You should have been like, get out there and help me. Now at age 34, I would look at this stuff as like, you know, it's just nice to be outside, which is kind of how I looked at it, to be honest. But it's like, come on, Mom, you let me get away with too much as a teenager. And now I'm doing it like the same way with my kid. Like, you know, it's just me, Kate, and Luna, right? So if me and Kate are doing the leaves, she's only 3 years old, so she's got to be outside at least so we can watch her. Not me and Kate like busting our ass on our hands and knees, picking up all these leaves, raking them up, scooping them up, putting them in the bag, and then she's crying on the front step watching her iPad going, I want a smoothie, I want a smoothie. And I'm like, oh my, what the fuck are we doing, man? We ruined our kid already? She just turned 3? She already sounds like a millennial? Move Joker, please. Before I get mad, this is right? It doesn't matter. You don't need the biggest number at the end. I'm losing it at the people saying you need the times 2 at the end. What the fuck do you think happens if you do 6 times 2 times 10 versus 10 times 2 times 6, motherfucker? Plug that shit into your T185. I can't remember how it goes. What's it called? The multiplier at the end? Listen, Poindexter, the multipliers are already at the end, okay? It's like you're correcting the teacher's spelling, but it's spelled right. Like they spelled the word on the board and you're like, just so you know, that word's spelled like this. And you're like, I know. This is not a gun. I'm just saying, this is how I point. No, regardless of what I'm holding. What's your favorite planet, NL? I gotta say Earth. By the way, did you see the Reddit thread yesterday that was like, what thing is real that blows your mind? People were like, oh, time dilation on a planetary scale. Shit you're never gonna interface with, like, in your real life. Then they say, the fact that, like, the Big Bang was the creation of all matter in the universe. Like, what the fuck happened before the big, like, what was the Big Bang? What was the damn, like, orb sitting in before it exploded if it wasn't sitting in the universe, right? Not a single person said the fact that you can know that you know something, but it takes you like a minute sometimes in order to figure out the thing that you know. If someone says, who played Ari Gold on Entourage, you'll be like, hang on a second, I know that one. I just got to send the guy back in my brain to pull out the Jeremy Piven volume and then bring the Jeremy Piven volume up to like my executive functioning frontal lobe and go, it's Jeremy Piven. Your brain is legit like a librarian, man. It's crazy. You check the computer and it's like, yeah, we got like 8 pieces of information about Jeremy Piven. He was in, he played Ari Gold on Entourage. He was going bald when he was a writer on the Larry Sanders Show, but then miraculously just started regrowing his hair again. He plays the supplicant to the dean in Old School. We got a little bit of a key value pair going on Jeremy Piven back there. But I don't know that I know it until I send the dude back to get the Jeremy Piven book. Instead, they're all like, it's crazy how like if gravity affects the flow of time. I'm like, bitch, this is not relevant, okay? You're not Isaac Asimov. Do you know Connor Bedard? I mean, yeah, I don't know him personally for a number of different reasons. One of which is that I'm nearly 35 and he just turned 18. So like we don't run in the same circles. I'm not catching his ass at like, family story time at the library. The other reason is that, I don't know, he's playing in the National Hockey League right now. Wonder if he knows you? I mean, I don't consider this like flattering or congratulatory at all. There's probably like one dude in the NHL who knows me because they would be like, they were 8 and someone showed them my Isaac video and then they never talked to that person ever again. I didn't say they were fans of mine. I just said like probably one person in the NHL at least has seen a Northern Lion video. No, I definitely don't think it would be someone like Sidney Crosby, like someone over the age of 25. Because I think if you were born in like 1997, you were not watching YouTube gaming videos when you were playing like junior hockey. But if you were born in 2003, yeah, I think it's definitely possible. I think it's possible before you decided you were going to become an NHL player at age 9. You were like, I'm watching Markiplier videos, and then like maybe my video showed up in like the sidebar, and you're like, let's check this out. And then I was like, well, it is quite an antediluvian item, but nonetheless, it impacts our shot speed, so I consider it perfectly cromulent to pick it up. And then they went, fuck this, dude. I'm going back to Five Nights at Freddy's. Did you see the post? Librarian, you got a lot of work cut out for you here. Did you see the post that was like the dudes working out in the gym, but then the quote tweet was like Nicki Minaj spotted in the background, and it was the guy warming up for his set, and he had his, I have to move a little further back. He had his arms on his waist like this and was going like, did you see that one? There's something about, I don't even know that much about Nicki Minaj, but as soon as I saw that dude with his hands on his hips like that, I was like, I get the joke. Which is big for me. That's a big step. I think if anything, we skip the next one. We go for the super foil on the next one. It would be amazing to get Juggler. Please VIP the librarian. Okay, VIP. The time is right because they need the link. Okay. I've had Origin. You can still ban them. VIPs are not above mods in the hierarchy. They need to be able to post links. Face cards are better. 1 in 5 chance to add. Come on. First, though, you got to see if you double your money. Finally. Then. You gotta put like a spinning wheel or a slot machine or something there. By the way, can somebody explain to me? Go look at Dan's tweets, okay? He was in Las Vegas for TwitchCon. He posted an image of him playing the Wonka slots, okay? The Willy Wonka slot machine. Now, I'm gonna describe this as best as I can, okay? It was a 5x4 grid. The first 4 columns were completely filled with the same symbol. It was Gene Wilder. The fifth column was completely filled with wilds. So effectively, the whole screen was filled with exactly the same symbol. How did he not get like $1 million? Because I know he was betting. He was at the penny slots, so he was betting a cent per line. But then, like every time you press the button, it does like 75 lines because slot machines are like psychotic these days. The symbol sucked. Gene Wilder's symbol has low power. He's Willy Wonka. That doesn't even make sense. I mean, I think that he won like, did anyone hit the link? How much money did he win? It seemed to me like he 30x'd his bet or something like that, which is not that amazing when you consider the fact that the whole board was the same symbol. And the symbol was the person the game was named after. It's math, bitch. What? Oh, because it was sorted by rank. No. Okay, hang on. Sort by suit. What the hell? Do the red cards go to the right or to the left, man? Oh, thank God. That's a natty flush. What would be the highest value symbol on an NL slot machine? I'm not going to answer your question. I don't buy into my own lore, okay? I'm just a guy. What I will say is if I made a slot machine, we're going back to 1930s casino tech. I can't handle this. Like, I'm used to like a 3x3 grid, and there's like a line at the top, a line in the middle, a line on the bottom, and maybe like 2 diagonals. I don't even know, and the verticals, of course. We're not doing this 75 line. This one goes like across, then down, then up, then down too. Like, that's just too much, man. Because at some point, I want to know like what I'm looking for on the thing. And I feel like in the 1920s, if you went to a casino, you pulled the thing and it went like, 7, 7, and then you were like, and that's what you're paying for right there is the, and then it was cherry and you were like, crap. And nowadays, you don't even know what you're looking for. Like when gambling was popping off on Twitch, I was looking for I was watching some slot machine streams, and it's just like the most fucking cooked cocoa melon art spinning around. You don't even know when they're about to win like $100,000. It's every once in a while it goes like, pew, you hit 7 carrots on the same screen. That means you get a bonus spin. And then like on the bonus, they're going like, please, please give me 10 fertilizers, 10 fertilizers. Then they get 10 fertilizers and like little phosphorus globs start pouring down from the screen. And if you get 8 phosphorus in a row, you get, and like I can't piece it together, man. By the way, Daniel, thank you for the raid. I saw that you were playing Suika game. We want flushes with non-face cards. Please don't post Jay Eazy in my chat. It gets stuck in my head. Stop. I hate how much I know about that mall. I know more about that mall than any mall in Vancouver. Sell Scholar? You have to get played. It's gonna be close. Plus 10 Moltons, okay. Maybe it's, I don't know, it's still gonna be pretty close. It's like we're right on right now. It's almost like you have to discard to get rid of the face cards. But then you have to draw like the right thing in order to make the discard worth it. Like we could probably get away with playing one face card. And then this is none face cards. So that's great. This is my last hand. Oh! Ooh. What can I say? Even had 44 points to spare. I mean, dude, to be honest, bonus seems great to get the chips because this gives us the mult. But I feel like we have so many ace of spades that why don't we get 2, 3, 4 turned into spades to maximize our chances of getting like straight flushes. Let's ask Big Chungus for his thoughts. You know what? Let's not and say we did. Sorry to be rude. In the hierarchy of schoolyard insults, that one stings. It doesn't quite sting as bad as no shit Sherlock, which is like you think you're telling your friends something incredibly insightful, and then they basically say, "What do you think we are, stupid?" Like that one will soul read you. It'll take you back to the loam. You'll be crawling back into the primordial soup. Back in my day, we just got hit with "I don't care." People were ruthless back in the day. You know, back in my day, if you didn't want to hang out with somebody, you were just like, sorry, we took a vote and we decided we don't want to hang out with you. Nowadays, it's crazy. You got to make up like malicious rumors about them on social media. Make a group chat that's an exact copy of your existing group chat, but just minus them and including everybody else that was already in it. And then you like go a step further and you name it something that's like an inside joke that they're not aware of. And then one day they like look over your shoulder and they're like, who are you chatting with? And you're just like, oh, it's a group chat. Don't worry about it. Scumbag move. I'm making this all up. I didn't grow up in like the group chat era. I have one group chat now, but we're all like almost middle-aged, so all we do is say like happy birthday whenever it's someone's birthday once every 8 weeks, and then like the other time is like one dude will get into the Yinglings like once every 3 months, and then we'll have like a real conversation, but that's it. Have you ever seen that tweet? This might be the funniest tweet that I don't understand, but I think is hilarious. It's the tweet starts like 38-year-old girlfriend that still says sus or something like that. And then the body of her text, or the text of her body, is like, Twitter is debating whether or not PAWG is a slur, and I just can't with this hell site today. And then the next line is me popping a boner so huge after hearing PAWG that I think I might faint. And then their quote was, I think I have COVID. I don't know. It's just a great tweet. I don't know. I'm so jealous of people who can come up with a joke like that. There's no punchline, and it's so funny. Someone saying, I just can't with this hell site today is so good. I was thinking about that. Listen, I'm gonna get booed for this, but and I deserve to. I was thinking about that every time like something gets retweeted into my feed that's like, here's the current status of the SAG after a strike, and here's what you can do to help. And I'm like, I'm taking a shit right now. I can't do anything. I'm not in the business. I'm supporting you, like ideologically, but there's nothing I could do to help you get one over on Bob Iger. You know, it's like I'm already doing I'm already not watching shit because it all sucks anyway. I'm doing what I can, okay? The ultimate +2 is a +2 from everyone but a -2 from Origin. That's like a super +2. That's like when you shoot the moon in in Hearts and you're like, wait a minute, my hand fucking sucks. Wait a minute, my hand fucking sucks. It sucks so bad, I'm about to win. I'm saving my money. I think I have COVID. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. Ooh. He knows about the Full House. My uncle, when he's an executive at NBC, CBS, who made Full House? Hey, did you know that Shonda Rhimes made like every show that was popular on ABC from 2006 to 2019? And then when she was renegotiating her contract with ABC, which is owned by Disney, one of the things she wanted was another all-access pass for her family to go to Disneyland. Which there's like, I don't know, it doesn't even, the cash value of that might end up being like $1,000. And then they were like, yeah, whatever. So they gave it to her, and then it didn't work when they got to the park. So she called the exec and was like, hey, my stuff doesn't work. And they said, don't you have enough as is? And she immediately called her agent and said, get me a deal with Netflix. And that's how Bridgerton came to pass. You want to talk about like the worst contract negotiation of all time. You lost the producer who created Grey's Anatomy over a day's admission to Disneyland when you're Disney, i.e. it costs you nothing. You thought you really needed the extra $154 from Shonda Rhimes? She is so real for that, though. That's true. My ass would have been like, you're right. I'll use my credit card. If we don't know what to play, we should play Lies of P. That's the right way to be a variety streamer. More like Lies of Podcast. I mean, the game is good. There's just a lot of banter because I keep dying to like mini bosses over and over. It's probably game of the year. Multiple streamers are saying it's game of the year. Also, I get a chance to use a stream title I cooked up this weekend. But she caught me on the counter. Wasn't P. Hang on, can I get the P emoji and then copy paste that? Oh, that's perfect. Ooh, so I'm just stretching. Has anyone ever done a study on why stretching feels so good? Yes. Okay. Big man, don't be afraid to share with the rest of the class because it's good for you. Oh, that must be why like drinking 8 beers feels so good. Beer is just bitter water. Come on. Librarian, stop farming controversy. Leave it to me. We're not farming controversy here by saying things like beer is just bitter water, okay? I will say I saw in the Discord we were having some arguments. Yelnats kind of... what's the opposite of catching some strays? It's like getting what you deserve, right? Yelnats in the Discord said, isn't a lager just a code word for all bad beers? Listen, that's how my beer drinking saga went as well. In college, you drink whatever's cheap. Lager's cheap, so you're like, all I drink is lager. Then you get a little older, maybe you get some disposable income, and you say, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Let's get some stouts, let's get some porters, let's get some gosés, let's get some lambics, let's get some Belgian wheat beers, let's get some Hefeweizen, stuff like that. I have now reached the point, I'm 34 years old. I drink like 2 IPAs that taste like air fresheners, and I'm like, why do I have diarrhea? And I know what I realized is because, much like apparently the weed industry, the beer industry has gone too far. So now, instead of having the IPAs, now and then I'll opt for a lager instead. You have a 4.5% lager instead of like an 8% double IPA with your lunch. You still start to feel a little loosey-goosey, but it doesn't go over the threshold. And then like an hour later, you're like, well, now I can get on with the rest of my day. It's not like the whole afternoon is shot and I'm like, I got to take a nap or something like that. You could have like 1 or 2 lagers and then like 2 hours later, you're like, now I can do some yard work or something. There's a place for all of this stuff, I think. Sometimes people get mad at me because I talk about Coke Zero. I'm here to tell you, it's obvious Coke Zero is not a health food, despite how much I've talked about it being a health food. That being said, it tastes like it's bad for you, but it makes you feel like it's good for you. You're insane? No, drinking one Like if you're not feeling 100% right, half of a Coke Zero will make you feel like all the problems in your body are fixed. Unless you have like acid reflux, I guess. If you have acid reflux, then it might be the opposite, but I wouldn't know. But if you're just like a little tired or thirsty, half of a Coke Zero will change your life. You should, hey, anyone out there who's thirsty, try drinking fluid. You may be surprised at the results. Sounds like you just have a caffeine addiction. And what about it? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Sorry, this is too far. I think if you are if you're 25 or older and you're not addicted to something, something's wrong with you. Now, some of the things you could be addicted to might also mean something's wrong with you. The obvious one is like, you know, hard drugs. You gotta, or even soft drugs. You gotta sort that out, obviously. But like, League of Legends is another one, but the people aren't ready for that conversation quite yet. But like, I kind of don't trust someone if they're like 30, let's just say they're my age. If they're 34 and they're not addicted to either caffeine or sugar or artificial sweetener or something like that, like I'm just, no. It just seems like get some character, right? Because I know, like, drinking a cup of coffee is just like, it's a very easy way to feel alive, okay? I don't want to be moralized to by some motherfucker with a platinum Honkai Star Rail account just because I'm having an oat milk latte, okay? Be like, actually, relying on any chemicals for your happiness is a sign of weakness. Okay, motherfucker. Let me see your search history then. Let me see what kind of chemicals you're relying on. I just don't buy it. Not on Twitch. If we were up in some Buddhist temple, you know, in the mountains of Asia or something like that, and someone was like, I found inner peace. The secret is not talking and closing your eyes for 2 hours a morning. I would be like, okay, maybe you got it all figured out. But if some, like, you know, 21-year-old in Twitch chat is like, here's the secret to life, I'm like, brother, you haven't even hit new game yet. Your ass still in the damn tutorial. And you're like, I'm pretty sure the secret is blah. I feel the same way about parenting advice. Do you feel like anybody with a newborn is equipped to handle them? Well, they are and they aren't, I would say. I don't know. Like, are you coming at this... It sucks to say, like, this is an appeal... Wait, this is one of those logical fallacies that I'm like, this shouldn't be a logical fallacy. Appeal to authority shouldn't be a logical fallacy in all situations, okay? Because if someone who is a parent gives me parenting advice, I'm like, shut up, respectfully. If someone who isn't a parent gives me parenting advice, I'm saying shut up, disrespectfully. At least, like, the parent has some experience on the job. Like, the answer is anyone with a newborn equipped to handle it? Yeah. Like, the obvious answer, oh, okay. The obvious answer is anybody who's got a newborn that's not their first kid. The second answer is that, like, it isn't that hard. You just figure it out on the go. Like, it's really not that hard. A newborn, especially if you're not, like, you know, the one doing the breastfeeding, is pretty much just like, you already know how to do it. You just got to wake up. It's the number one skill involved in raising a newborn is, like, accepting that you're not going to get great sleep. Or good sleep, even. You'll get some sleep, though. I'm about to meet Jack Ma at a conference next week. What should I ask him? Never ask a woman her age, a man his salary, or Jack Ma where he was from June 2020 until September 2021. +2? What happened? He was gone for a while, right? Wasn't he like, we don't need the government anymore, we have Alibaba? And then nobody saw him for 18 months? And he came back and he was like, that whole part was satirical, by the way. He's like, remember when I said that stuff? That's my mistake. kind of lost sight of what was important in life temporarily. I have internalized your attacks. I've still internalized your attacks. Robot Wars looking down. You ever talked about the fact that Robot Wars is like one of the ways that we all lost our childhood? Because the coolest looking robots, whenever you booted up the show, whether it's Battlebots or Robot Wars, Robopocalypse, or whatever, you'd always be like, holy shit, Sir Kill-A-Lot. He looks like a damn Knight of the Round Table. He's got a full suit of armor. His right hand is like a diamond-coated claymore, and his left hand is a flamethrower. What could possibly defeat this guy? And then it's like little robot that looks like a dinner plate that spins really fast. And you're like, what the hell? It just flipped him over. It wasn't even close. Just the little spatula was just like, bonk. And then I love the idea of Battlebots, but even still, I don't think it's all the way there yet. Because, like, you expect it's going to be like a wrestling match, but usually, like, one robot just crashes into another one, and then the other one stops moving, and then the one that hit it just kind of drives around for, like, 45 seconds until they call the fight. It's just, like, they build up all this, like, preamble to the fight. Like, this person's engineering student at MIT, and this person's just a dude who's a school bus driver who made it in his garage. And then they go, okay, 3, 2, 1, fight. The box is locked, the lights are on, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, rimp, psh, and then the other robot is just there, and the rest of it is just a dude looking at his remote control going like, I don't know. I don't really know. Like, I can't do anything. And then they're like, okay, it's over. Is it, like, illegal to make a BattleBot with a gun? Because I feel like that would be a great way to counter the super strong basic robots. Is like, what if you just made one that had like a 50 caliber rifle and you just shot it right as it started to spin up? No projectiles are allowed and no nets. What about like a Lockheed Martin semi-autonomous drone? All right, I'm dead. Yeah, you know what? They should say no spatulas. By the way, I need to expand on my tweet a little bit. My tweet was, all the tall MFers in the NBA, now that there's an even taller MFer, and it's the reaction image, I want to go back to having fun. Is anybody else who's not that tall loving seeing extremely tall basketball players look short because of the rise of Victor Wembanyama? I'm like, now you know what it's like, you 6'8" motherfucker. Ever since middle school, your ass was scoring like 75 points a game just because of a literal genetic advantage. Now all of a sudden, you're out, like, the dude is dunking on you from the key, and you're looking at people like, what am I supposed to do? My hands were up as high as they go. And I'm like, God, I know, brother. Most of us learned that lesson in like grade 6 or something like that. You make it to the school team because you're like cracked at making layups or whatever, and then all of a sudden you realize that like one kid at the school across town for some reason is like 6'5" in the 8th grade, and you're like, there goes that dream. Banshees of Inisherin. Now all of a sudden, you got Victor Wembanyama, and they're like, being tall isn't fair. And you're like, welcome to basketball, bitch. That's what it's been like since it was invented. There's a tall guy in Banshees of Inisherin? No, obviously not. It takes place in Ireland. Oh, come on. I'm 5'9.5". I can say whatever I want to say. Didn't the original basketball not have dribbling? Like, all sports fucking sucked until like 1971. You know, like, football originally had no forward passing. It's the best part of football, is forward passing. Why were people watching football with no forward passing? Like, what's the point? Rugby, though? I had lunch with my daughter in a pub this weekend, and rugby was on. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I don't care who it offends. They need to make a better sport. Sorry, maybe I am afraid of who I'm going to offend. Maybe it's because I don't know the rules of rugby, but it seems like it's kind of vibes based. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, every time someone got substituted onto the field, I was like, that's a big lad, okay? And the only time it wasn't a big lad was when it was like an insanely small lad, and I was even more like, whoa, what's this guy gonna do? But it seems like listen, the commentary was not on, but like sometimes they would just whistle the ball dead, and then there would be a scrum. See, I'm familiar with the parlance. Oh, that was a good one. And then they would like have a scrum with the ball. No one would get it, and the referee would be like, that team gets it now. And I'm like, what the hell? It's like the white team had possession, and then the referee was like, nah, scrum time. And then they scrum, and nothing comes out. The ball doesn't get kicked out or anything, and then the referee goes, it's the green team's ball now. And I'm like, we didn't even see anything. We just saw like a bunch of dudes standing there. Like, what's going on? There's a few things I like. I like that you can kick a field goal from anywhere at any time. People in the NFL, they have too much of a sense of safety. The ability to kick a field goal at any moment is sick. Also, when they grab a tiny dude and throw him into the air, that's cool as well. I also think having to kick the field goal from wherever you scored the try is an inspired rule. The NFL should pick that one up as well. You ever think about how goated this sport would be if they just let you forward pass? Like it would, within one generation, the NFL would cease to exist. It'd be boring? I don't think so. Whenever the ball is not in someone's hands and it's in the air instead, that's the most exciting part of any sport. Because you're like, God is carrying that pass right now. Big -2? Is Edger and James in the chat? I don't understand. I'm just saying, if rugby wants to go global, like the NFL, they should add forward passing, man. Holy! The NFL isn't global. They have teams all over America. And they play a game in London. So it's pretty global as far as I'm concerned. They played 3 games in London this year. Look at that, and 1 in Mexico. Hey! The Jaguars won all of their games in London. No disrespect, it's so funny they sent the Jacksonville Jaguars to London. Like, they could have sent, unless you're the owner of the team, I'm not apologizing for this, okay? They could have sent an iconic NFL brand, right? They could have sent the Cowboys. They could have sent the Steelers or something, the Patriots or something like that. Even the Denver Broncos. Instead, they said, look, Jacksonville. That's like if the Premier League was like, we're going to play a game in America, and it's not going to be like Manchester United against Tottenham Hotspur. It's like, it's going to be Nottingham Forest against the Wolverhampton Wolves. Those aren't real teams. They are real teams, unfortunately. It is kind of funny that there's a team called Manchester United, and then there's another team that's called Manchester City. Doesn't the existence of Manchester's... whatever. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it too much. It wasn't going to be a good joke anyway. All I was going to say is how united could Manchester possibly be if... there's 2 teams, but people weren't ready for that one. How's your CFL team doing this year? Better than a sturdy Krat supply box, I'll tell you that for free. I think they're doing well. I don't follow the CFL at all, but I do see people in CFL jerseys, which usually only happens in Vancouver when the team is good. People in Canada wear CFL jerseys unironically. Oh, well, you got me. The answer is honestly not really. I mean, there's multiple answers. CFL is not that popular here. Maybe in Winnipeg and Saskatchewan where there's not other leisure activities. Secondly, I'm not taking any sass from Americans who will wear like a shirt from the time that their team lost in the Tostitos Fiesta Taco Bowl for like 11 years after the event took place. I mean, remember who threw the first stone, okay? College football fans will like sincerely be like, yeah, we're like 1-8 this season, but do you remember the Flamin' Hot Cheetos Bowl from 2009? We beat Brigham Young University. They know it like back when Brian Urlacher was the defensive coordinator. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that one. Yeah, I remember. That was a really memorable one. We won 10-7. I mean, how many games do you play a season in college football? There's, like, baseball obviously has too many games. Football, maybe a controversial pick. Football has too few because it makes people care too much about them. It's the reason you don't order a 3-piece chicken strips meal. Because if somebody says, hey, can I borrow, or can I have one of your pieces? You'd be like, what the hell, bro? That's like a third of my damn meal. You get a 5-piece, you could at least tear someone like half a strip or something like that without getting your feelings hurt. This is the wrong one. The catch is, they should play 2 NHL seasons a year. Shorten the NHL season by half. Run it, instead of like a North American school year, where you get like one long vacation in the summertime, run it like a South Korean school year. This is the wrong one. Where you get like 4.5 months on, 6 weeks off. 4.5 months on, 6 weeks off. Because I'm always like, the off season is too long. Especially when your team is essentially eliminated from playoff contention by like American Thanksgiving. I mean, it sounds crazy, but it's kind of like how it works in soccer, right? Like, there's like the league championship, and then there's the shit that everyone cares about, which is always called like the Billy Cup. Yeah, sure, we were 15th in the table this year, but we beat Wexley for the Billy Cup. That's another trophy for our trophy case. The Billy Cup is not real. Bro, it's real. The 6th, 7th, and 8th place teams from all of the third-tier leagues in the United Kingdom all qualify for the Billy Cup. They miss out on Champions League. They miss out on Europa League. They miss out on Superstar League. They play in the Billy Cup. The winner gets the first felled yew tree of the season in honor of the Welsh longbowmen who won the Battle of Poitiers in the 100 Years' War as a result of the unbelievable strength of the tree that grew locally in the region. No. Hey, NL, you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, right? That's true. It's one of the truest things you've ever said. That must mean you're a New York football fan, right? That's true, except it's not. The truth of the matter, I swear to you, it seems convenient now. Just keep in mind, I don't really watch football. Although I'm going to spin this into another bit. Watching football actually goes kind of hard. On Sunday, after we got our daughter ready to like start the day, I was tired already because I started the morning with like a workout, and I knew in the afternoon I was going to have to go and pick up leaves, right? But I was like, I don't want to just like lay down on the couch because that gives the appearance of not doing anything. So instead I turned on the football, and in my head I was like, I'm not doing nothing. I'm watching football. It's only on once a week. Like it's like, come on, it's time limited. Can we just wait till like after this game is over? You're exactly right. It's bad household optics to like lay down on the couch and be like, I'm just gonna watch like, Bob's Burgers. You lay down on the couch and you're like, it's only on. Yeah, I can't take the garbage out right now, honey. The Lions are down 4 touchdowns to the Ravens in the first quarter. I got to see this. Anyway, the truth of the matter is I don't really watch the NFL that much, but I am as a kid, I was a Broncos fan because I was chasing the glory of John Elway. So I watched both of the back-to-back Broncos Super Bowls. And then when it came time as a teenager to choose a team to follow the march of my own drum, the beat of my own drum, I became a Kansas City Chiefs fan in the early to mid-2000s because I liked their play style of having literally no defense and just absurd offense. So it's been good eating for Chiefs fans, even though I haven't really followed them at all since they've been good. Oh, it's a boss. But when they win, I'm like, good for them.
This is where evolution becomes real. Feel me. I am victor. The champion.
There's no way this guy's not goofy. Seems a little... Wait, Speedy, huh? He's a little Speedy. Kate was telling me about this guy. She said this guy's tough because you can't break his weapon because his weapon is his hands. So if your whole raison d'etre was breaking weapons, you're in for a world of hurt here. Why is she spoiling? We're the husband and wife, so we talk about things. Also, she's like, she really likes Lies of P, so she's been talking about it. I was so close to owning your ass. Lol. Kate, how you doing? Feeling good? Eating stew. More wives these days eat stew than wear bracelets. The whole world's gone woke. Kid named Stu? No! Oh, man. It is funny to think back like 50 years ago, you might meet a bloke and he'll be like, pleased to meet you, my name's Stuart. You'll be like, what, really? It's not something normal like Jalen or Braylon, Shadynasty, Olivia, Jackson Triggs, Yellowtail. You guys think there's a University of Hawaii Atlantic? Or a Brigham Old? Okay, you gotta be careful with the dodges. My mechanic explaining which cars not to purchase. Spoilers, it's all American cars. Sorry. And there are none Canadian cars. You can reflect the joke back at me if you want, but I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I thought that was common knowledge. It is crazy to think that, like, back in my granddad's era, they would be like, don't buy a Japanese car. They're unreliable. Nowadays, you talk to somebody, you're like, what kind of car do you own? A Chrysler? Oh, brother. I had to pick something. I feel like there's not that many people in my demographic out there driving Chryslers, so I had to go. I'm not going to go Chevy. I know there's a lot of Spark drivers out there. You know what bums me out? You know that, like, they made ESPN 8, the Ocho, a real thing? The joke channel from Dodgeball, where they had, like, you know, rock, paper, scissors, and, like, the jet skiing squirrel and stuff like that. So they made it real. I know that because when we were in Hawaii, I turned on the TV and I saw the National Pillow Fight Championship. You would think that there was no way they could make that shit boring. They had sucked all the fun out of it completely. They turned it in. They should be having people like go crazy and knock each other out. Instead, it became like a tactical showcase of like you could only score points by landing like a spinning back fist with the pillow. It was embarrassing. Also, the top prize. Okay, well that was fun. The person, everyone who came second through 16th got nothing. Person who came first, drum roll please, $5,000. There were motherfuckers there from Brazil. Trying to fight for the $5,000 grand prize in the World Championship of pillow fighting. Like, was it even? They probably had to take like 4 days off from work, man. Like, that was on ESPN. They should at least have like a $25,000 prize pool or something. It's much worse than Twitch Rivals. That is their work? It's definitely not their work because the whole industry is worth $5,000. What's the worst profession to have intrusive thoughts? And there's probably a lot. Like, we do rely on people a great deal. I definitely feel like anything where you're in charge of like a lot of people's safety is a big one, like a bus or a train driver or a pilot or something like that. Especially like I'm not nervous to fly, and if this happened a lot, you would hear about it. That's my main inoculation against this anxiety. Whenever I'm on a flight and it's like a major carrier, so there's one pilot and one co-pilot, I'm like, we're set. Because even if one of those motherfuckers has a total breakdown, like I don't know if they got gambling debts or whatever, the other dude is gonna keep them in check. But sometimes on those short flights, Toronto to Kingston, Kingston to Toronto, they just got like one 26-year-old dude flying the plane. Now, it's only half an hour long, you know, you don't expect a lot to go wrong, but I'm like, they could be having a bad day or something, and then that's all over for all of us. Bandle today? Oh, good, hang on. Bandle.app. 3.6 billion YouTube views from 2013. I'm not looking at chat, I swear it to you. I think I'm gonna know it. I don't know it yet though. That's just drums and bass. Okay. No. Did you ever feel like the plastic wrap? Okay, hang on. Next, give me choir and synth, please. Ooh. Uh-oh, that's... I'm gonna know it. I don't know it yet, but I'm gonna know it. Did you ever feel like a plastic plate? Is this titanium? Is this titanium by Shoot Me Down? But I'm typing it. Titanium? I'm typing titanium. David Guetta featuring Sia. It's not titanium. Not the correct song. Okay, next part. Oh! That was a dark horse. I didn't know this part. I needed that. That's Dark Horse by Katy Perry. Of course. Cause I gotta get a plastic fork, but you gotta give me pizza, and then I'm gonna eat it with my plastic fork. I am ready for a pepperoni. Yeah, okay, I know this. Dude, Bandle is sick, man. Bandle's crazy. Can we just listen? I didn't get it as soon as I could have gotten it, but it's crazy that I thought it was a Katy Perry song. It was just a different Katy Perry song. That's how you know she's a true artiste, because you can see her DNA coming even when you don't know it's her. Any plans for Halloween? Yes. I will be dressed as James P. Sullivan from Monsters, Inc. My wife will be dressed as Mike Wazowski, and my daughter will be dressed as Boo. And then it's like, when you got a kid, Halloween's like not just a one-day thing. We got like a community Halloween thing on the weekend, and then there's like a Halloween trick-or-treating thing at the mall, and then there's like next Wednesday is like the real trick-or-treating. But what's the etiquette? Because this is like the first year that like we went out trick-or-treating last year, but it was kind of like to like a village where you just hit all the houses ASAP, and nobody ever came to our house for Halloween. Like Kate would always prepare like a bunch of Halloween gift bags and stuff like that, and then it would be like, well, looks like over the next 3 months, some motherfucker's gotta eat 90 bags full of candy. That's me, I'm the motherfucker. But this year is a little different. We're going out just as a family, but we have a young kid, so we're also gonna have lots of people coming to our house, I think. So do we like go out at like 5 to 7? Is that like toddler trick-or-treat zone? And then we come back and like while we're eating dinner, the older kids come out like 7 to 9 or something like that? You've got it. Sunset to dark? is older kids. Pre-sunset is young kids. Leave the bowl out? I'll leave the bowl out. I'm not afraid of, like, leaving candy outside. I know the idea is, like, what if some jerk comes along and just steals all the candy? Okay, what if some jerk comes along and, like, smashes my windows, you know? What if some jerk comes along and steals all the candy, then I'm out, like, $8. Like, I'll get over it. It's not that big of a deal. Like, 16-year-olds think they're so cool. Check it out. I stole $8 worth of fun size of Reese's peanut butter cups. So that's not cool. You know what's cool? Doing 2 hours of Peloton rides every morning. Taking care of yourself. You shoplifted some damn corn syrup. Back in my day, we were public urinating all over the place. Like, if you're gonna do a crime, at least put your balls on the line, okay? It's not cool. You don't get cool props for stealing Halloween candy. There's no risk of being caught and there's no reward. Fucking steal a car. Steal a car or something. Do something with this that could fuck up your life if you get it wrong. Then you get some, like, you know, you get a Rush Bonnie and Clyde style or something. As your lawyer, I'm advising you to stop talking. Listen, I haven't looked into it. But there must be, like, a law in place. Let's call it, like, appeal to obviousness, which is if you say something obviously bad, like obviously ridiculous, then absurd, you can't be held legally culpable. Like, if I said, hey, everybody, let's all go eat Tide Pods, and then, like, if 2 people ate Tide Pods, surely if they ever put me, like, up on the stand, I would look at the judge and be like, come on, buddy. If they weren't eating Tide Pods with me, they were probably gonna do it with somebody else. Like, no big loss. That's called Darwin's Law. Exactly.
Open your eyes.
Well, I feel like if I tell you to do a crime, I'm not paying you to do it. I'm not giving you any incentive. I'm just like, hey, go steal a car. I didn't do shit, bro. That's freedom of speech. That's if I released materials that was like, here's how to steal a car or something like that. That's a different story. If I was just like, hey, go out and steal cars. If people did it, I would be like, oh shit, you didn't see my /S at the end? They will indict you. I did everything wrong and they indicted me. They did. I do find that it's one of the most annoying yes ands though. It's like when you say something that's obviously meant satirically and then someone chimes in and says, actually don't do that though. And I'm like, yeah, obviously don't, you know, start breaking plates on your forehead like you're one of the Three Stooges or something like that. You don't need me to tell you that. I know we said it before too, but it's also one of those things where I'm like, you know, if I tell you to put a light bulb in your mouth like Fester Adams and see if it glows, if you actually do it, that's just bad luck for me. Because you were going to do that shit at some point anyway. Some other influencer was going to be like, you know, put your balls in the Coinstar machine at the Safeway, and you were gonna do it. So maybe the light bulb is like merciful. Basically, I'm saying don't make your stupidity my problem. If you're not smart enough to recognize my joke is a joke, at least be smart enough to not follow everything I say blindly. It's the American education system that should be on trial. Like, I didn't eat the NyQuil chicken. Did I watch every video of NyQuil chicken? No, but I watched a few. I laughed when I saw them. I said, they should not be eating the NyQuil chicken. At no point did I leave a comment that was like, you should not eat that. I was like, they know they shouldn't be eating it. Human beings have been eating chicken for like 100,000 years. At no point did anyone say, oh, you have the regional specialty is NyQuil chicken? Like, it's never happened because medicine. Of course you're not supposed to eat it. Do you use soap to wash your chicken? I'm not going down this route with you, okay? I'm not walking into a garden full of rakes and stepping on 100 of them. Use your imagination. Whatever you think is the right thing, that's what I do with my chicken, okay? Leave drinking glass of water 225, seeing Chris Pratt on 226. That's it. That's why it's so hard to be on the top, man. There's always some motherfucker out there who's gonna drink one more glass. You're gonna get tired. You're gonna be like, surely 225 glasses is enough. The motherfucker coming up behind you says, yum, yum, 226. Would you describe yourself more as book smart or money smart? Okay, Jay Eazy, I see you in the chat. The dude really is everywhere. I would definitely describe myself more as book smart, unfortunately. Unfortunately for two reasons. It doesn't really help you that much, and I'm not that book smart. I think I'm intelligent when it comes to money, but am I money smart? If you consider being spendthrift to be money smart, then no. Because sometimes I'm like, I like saving money, but then I'm outside and I'm like, I could really go for a sandwich right now. And you're like, well, food doesn't count because you gotta eat. Yeah, but I didn't have to eat like that much. How are your muster drills on the ship? For anyone that doesn't know, before you get on the, well, after you get on the cruise, you do have to do like a mandatory safety drill. This is how I know that like human beings, at least in North American society, like we're washed. Because every time I've ever been on the cruise, this one was 10 days long. The safety drill, you have to be there, like they check your key card and everything. Every time I've ever done it, all everybody does the whole time is complain. It's literally like the staff is there telling you, in the event of an emergency, come here and listen to us. That's all you have to do. And it's just a bunch of like middle-aged adults that are like just not paying attention, looking at their phone. They're like, we get it. If the ship's gonna collapse and kill us all, grab a life jacket. Okay, fine. Like we could be at the buffet right now. They got, and listen, I have gotten to the point, and it took me a minute to get here. Like the first few times, maybe the first 20 times I flew on an airplane, when they do the safety demonstration, I would make eye contact with the flight attendant. I wanted them to know I'm not on my phone. I'm not reading the in-flight magazine. I'm not trying to start my nap early. People are really trying to start their nap before you even taxi out to the runway, as if like 5 minutes into your sleep, you're not gonna be like just wait 5 seconds. But I don't do that anymore. But I still, Kate's auditing me. She's saying you were playing Slay the Spire. Now, yes. But like for the first 20, I paid attention. I'm just saying that someone, I've realized, especially after there was the fire on the ship that one time, at least one person has to pay attention to the safety announcement. And that's great for me because that means I'm going to have all the power in a crisis. Person who's trying to go RNA polymerase 5' to 3' in the buffet line. Guess what, motherfucker? Oh yeah, the muster station, it's that away. That's where the hole is in the ship. Oh, person who said nice hat when they got in the elevator with me. Hey, come along, we got plenty of space in this lifeboat. Do you like jjajangmyeon? Kate, did we get spotted yesterday? Is that what's happening here? We did go out for jjajangmyeon and champong yesterday, and there was a table of gamers next to us. I know they were gamers. There was 4 adults in their early, maybe like their mid-20s, and they were talking strats. Like they must have been serious gamers. They were playing like I don't know if it was League, but they were talking about like, you know, in their scrims, sometimes they need a sub. We like this team. We don't like this team. Like, what are we supposed to do? I have almost reached the point of middle age where I was like gonna go over and ask them, like, hey, notice you're talking about video games. What kind of games do you play? You know, I'm something of a gamer myself. So I don't know if it was the Vancouver Rebellion. But they did it, like, I think they were genuinely serious. I don't know if it was like a Scholastic team, like if they're the UBC League of Legends Golden Griffins or whatever. But there were 3 gamers and then the gamer coach. They had a coach, which means they're at least taking things pretty seriously. Kate will back me up, by the way. I am experiencing suburban dad transformation right now. When I was out handling the leaves, multiple people in our neighborhood came over just to talk to me. Like, I was emitting vibes that other suburbanites find irresistible. One guy came over and he said, you got quite the... Yeah, Kate was out there. They just didn't look at her at all. One guy came over to me and said, you're cultivating quite the mushroom garden there. And I said, yeah, don't remind me. He said, oh, don't worry, they're just fairy rings. And I said, oh, really? Do you know how to get rid of them? And then he looked shocked. Like I said something wrong. And he said, no, but they're harmless. And then there was kind of like an uncomfortable period of silence. And he said, I'm going to the mushroom show at Van Dusen Gardens later today. And I was like, oh, fuck, there you go. I was just trying to make some small talk. All of a sudden, I've angered the Mushroom King. I thought we were bonding over having like a clean garden, and all of a sudden this dude's like in love with mushrooms or something like that. I'm like, well, son of a bitch. But he seemed, I said, have a good day. He said, have a good day. I don't think he's going to come to my house and kill me or something. But when he said, you've cultivated quite the mushroom garden there, I thought he was teasing me instead. Maybe he was being like complimentary. And then like another, this was when you were inside, Kate, another woman came over to me and said, hey, we just wanted to say welcome to the neighborhood. How long have you been here? And then I had to say, oh, we moved in like the end of June. And then she got me cracking up because she said, sorry you moved here like during such a busy time in the neighborhood. And I was like, I said, oh yeah, don't worry, it's okay. But in my head, I was like, there's fucking nothing going on, which is what I like about it right now. But like, there's nothing going on. I don't know how little was going on before we moved in, but like this, it's not like a bustling hotspot or anything. I Googled like what to do in Vancouver this weekend, and I told my wife about the mushroom show. I said, you know, there's a mushroom show at Van Dusen. She said, yeah, like we'd go to that. I said, oh, okay. Yeah, I was just joking. I'm not that mushroom pill, but I'm kind of... It's nice to just get out there and do stuff sometimes, you know?
It's their duty and their faith.
Do they dance or something? No, I think they just, people grow them and then they like bring them and they're like, check out my mushrooms or something. So that is true, by the way. Mushroom Festival, Vancouver, resident sleeper. Mushroom Festival, Stardew Valley, bat chest. That's what you're like right now. There was another dude who was amazed with your leaf blower. Well, okay, there was an old dude came over and said, hey, you got a battery powered one. I say, yeah, it's pretty good. He said, how long does it last? And I said, oh, it lasts about 15 minutes, but as you can see, I got a second battery pack just so it doesn't run out on me. And he said, that's pretty smart. Then he like pulled out his nuts basically and said, I've got an electric one, but I just use an extension cord to plug it in so it doesn't run out. And I was like, okay, Grandpa, I see you. I see you with the... I'm out here using antiquated battery technology. This guy, he's living in the 30th century. And then, as it always happens in these conversations, it completely petered out. And I said, y'all take care now. And he did. And now, I'm the most popular guy in the whole neighborhood. Kate will tell you, by the way, I'm only like half joking. Like, anybody that walked by me that was over the age of 50, there was like a 99% chance they were going to say something to me. You ever ask these people questions to keep the conversation going? No, but I think you have unlocked the next step. I think I'm pretty good at conversing. But I'm not good at keeping the conversation going forever. If someone introduces themselves to me, usually we have a good time. But in public, normally I'm just minding my own business, right? I think the next step is asking them questions about their lives, and then becoming best friends. I honestly wouldn't mind having some old friends. Like, having a toddler is a lot like living with an old person. Like, they have a very structured sleep schedule, and they can only do, like, very pedestrian activities, you know what I mean? I'm just my friends who are like in their 20s and their 30s without kids, what am I going to do? Corey's 40? Yeah, I know. Corey's going to come over to our house and we're going to be like, come on over and play our dinosaur-themed Hungry Hungry Hippos knockoff. By the way, like it's 7 p.m. and it's bath night, so, you know, take a hint, buddy. You got to get out of here. I think it'd be kind of sick to have some friends who were like, you know, in their 70s and they're like every second Wednesday we get together and play bridge. I could play bridge and like, you know, I'm sure this shit would start at like 10 a.m. and go till 11:30. They would probably eat lunch at 10:15. Get some gossip around the neighborhood or something like that. Because then after I finish bridge, I could come back to my house and have another lunch. Because typically Kate doesn't eat lunch until like 2:30. Little more. That was good. That was bad. You can't go in there for a 3-piece, brother. It's not that kind of establishment. This place does 4 pieces and 6 pieces to distinguish themselves from the other chicken strip restaurants out there. It's very goofy like that. A little slow. The liver shot. Okay. Everyone relax. Phase 2. No. Me pouring myself a full water bottle full of BioSteel after Peloton workout 2 of 4. Oven heat, wondering how the hell I still got the gas to keep pedaling at 200 after that sweat steady ride. Ooh.
The new world belongs to us.
That was quick. That's that dream then. Oh, man. Terminally online senior citizens love to equate their dislike of modern music to the impending collapse of Western society. That's true. I mean, I feel like both music and society have gotten worse in their defense, but I don't think that that was related. I think those are just, it's like the shark attacks correlated with ice cream sales graph. You can't be sure that they do correlate. No. They might not cause hate, though. The only thing that causes hate is fucking 7, bro. 2020s have been the second best decade for music. Fight me. Oh, really? So what is it? 2020s and then like what? The number one's got to be, we all agree, the 1870s or whatever, when Beethoven was working, when he was at his peak. I don't know that much about the 2020s, but I do think that Bad Idea, Right, is a really good song. I think that's a 10 out of 10 pop single. Also, it's not pop. The fact that there are, listen, I'm not throwing Corey under the bus here. I don't even know if Corey's ever heard it, but the fact that there's people like Corey who will see that it's by like a 21-year-old woman and be like, I just assume that I don't like it. Bro, it's a rock song. It has a guitar solo and everything. Okay, it's not Swans, but still. It's a 4-piece band and a guitar solo. Like it's a rock classic. Because in the Discord, Chipley will back me up. I said, have you guys heard that new Olivia Rodrigo song? This was like 2 weeks ago. And Chipley said Nodders. And then Corey said, I tend not to like most pop music. The fuck is the song's 150 seconds long, brother. Why don't you just listen to it? It's better to appear a fool than to open one's mouth and remove all doubt or fucking whatever. You know how pop music works? Or not pop music, but like music on the radio that's popular? 98% of it is pure fucking ass garbage. Demi Lovato, Pink, Kelly Clarkson. I know she can sing, okay? That's not what we're talking about here. And then there's always like one of the most talented artists of all time. That's it. There's always a Stark and Winterfell. There's always an Olivia Rodrigo on the radio. Why'd you only name women? Well, like, I'll be honest. My most base take is that the only way shitty music made by women could be worse is if it was shitty music made by men. The men shitty music is even shittier. What does that even mean? It means as bad as a song by a woman can be, the worst songs ever are made by men. Come on, think about it. Whenever people talk about the worst songs of all time, what comes up? Some shit by Nickelback, Imagine Dragons. It's very rarely... No, come on. Friday's not a song. It's a video. It's a social experiment. Why are you back on your sexist arc? It's a different one. I'm sexist towards men here. I'm not saying men make worse music than women. I'm saying when a song is bad, I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase it. The worst songs are made by men. It doesn't mean women make better music. It doesn't mean men make worse music. It just means when men are the best at making bad music, okay? Sorry, ladies, if that bothers you. If you were out here trying to create the worst album ever made, we already got that covered. Why don't you stay in your lane, okay? It's because women haven't had as many opportunities to make bad music, and I don't support that. I think there should be a female Nickelback. I think there should be like a female fucking... Give me a second here. I know popular music. Whose songs do I never want to hear? I gotta think about it. Drake? I don't know. Back me up here, Prezzo, if you agree. I think Drake is a human being. You know, I ain't know about all that, so I'm gonna stay out of all that. Drake is an artist. I think some of those songs are kind of gas. Is gas good or bad? I guess that depends who's farting. So true. There should be women Decemberists. They could be called the Novemberists because in this household, women always come first. Hold your applause. Come on. Is that a Facebook joke? It is, but it's like a 2006 era Facebook joke when only cool college students were on Facebook. As of 2013, there are no Decemberist fans left on Facebook, except probably the person running the Decemberist Facebook page. The Decemberists look like people that hang out at microbreweries. We gotta stop doing this. I mean, do they look like that? Yeah, but like, what's wrong with that? Everybody's gotta spend their time doing something. I don't even know what you look like. That's even more of an insult. At least that guy's out on the damn town or something like that. At least that guy's got enough, you know, he's projecting enough power out there into society to have an archetype and thus open himself to mockery. That really struck a nerve in you? Well, people always say stuff like that. They're like, oh, he looks like someone that hangs out in a micro. Oh, that looks like a guy who drinks IPAs. That's fucking like 70% of guys. You look like a guy who makes up fucking Poland ball Wojaks at home. Probably. I wouldn't know. I've never seen your face. I'm just making an educated guess based on where you choose to spend your time. Holy. Did I strike a nerve? Not so nice when you're the guy who's been hanging out in microbreweries, is it? Ideal female pop artist blunt rotation. Okay, that's easy. Definitely start with JoJo Siwa. I would say follow that up with Stacey Ferguson, also known as Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas. But you said Nightmare, right? You said Ideal Nightmare? Her name is actually Ferguson. Okay, listen. She's not like Clarissa Explains It All, MFer. She's from, her last name's Ferguson, which I believe means that her father made Ferguses. No, I wouldn't want to hit the spliff with Joanna Newsom. She'd start talking about some shit that would be completely impenetrable in the moment. You know she'd start cooing and mewing and stuff like that, and you'd be like, what the hell was in that? So I'd say Lil Tay, Jojo Siwa, Stacey Ferguson, maybe Nicole Scherzinger from the Pussycat Dolls. A circle can have like an unlimited amount of points, right? Grimes? Yeah, sure, why not? I'm sorry, like I know Grimes has made some good music. I think it's crazy how I used to be like the meanest motherfucker I know, and now I haven't changed at all. If anything, I've got like a little meaner, but like I'm the nicest motherfucker on this website now, which is crazy. Except for the really weird people who are like never say anything mean. I don't know what they're hiding, but it's not good. But like Grimes is not invited to the blunt rotation, because you have to be stupid to have fallen in love with Elon Musk. Unless it was like in 1991 or something like that. You can't be smart and have fallen in love with Elon Musk and had 2 kids with him. It's sorry, I'm just you got other things going for you in life, which is fine. You're not invited to the female artist blunt rotation. For some reason, I am, by the way, but I don't know how that happened, but I must be pretty cool. I did see that he said he would give Wikipedia $1 billion if they changed their name to Dickopedia. Say what you will, he is very funny. A very funny guy. Did you see Cliffy B reposting one of the AI-generated Pixar memes and saying, holy shit, I've been looking at these all day and I almost threw up because it's so funny? I genuinely don't have anything against Cliffy B, because I feel like most of the time he just stays in his lane. I mean, the shit had like 46 likes or something like that, but after it got quote tweeted, it's bad, man. I'm sorry. No. It was the sofa one. It wasn't the. I did see the one where the lady, it's smartest blue check, where the tattooed lady in high-rise denim shorts is being chased by the ghost of a bunch of crying babies, and he said, "This is so sad," and then. This is driving me crazy. All the blue checks in the replies are like, are the ghost babies supposed to represent the abortions she's had? And the dude's like, sorry, yeah. I know that was a little subtle, but yeah, that's the point. You got it. I'm sorry, I made it maybe a little too advanced. And then the dude made the art and is like, sad at the art. I mean, he didn't make the art, like the AI made the art, but he made the prompt, and then he's like, this is so sad. It's not real. You made it. If someone drew it and you were saying it's so sad, that's also like insanely pathetic, but like, you made it, dude. It's not real. Anyway, but the Cliffy B one, I'm like, dude, it just, I mean, it's bad for me because it disabused me of the notion that you necessarily get better taste as you get older. 'Cause that's like kind of the way it goes from like childhood. Is like, you know, you like Cocoa Melon, and then you get a little older and you like, I don't know, fucking like Nickelodeon cartoons or whatever. Sorry, no, they're good art people. They don't grow out of them. Those are actually for all ages. Okay, sure. Then as a teenager, you probably get like really into like some cringe-worthy stuff. But a few years after that, you're like, whoa, bro, have you ever seen Koyaanisqatsi? It's fucking guy who's seen 200 movies. You really got to get on Koyaanisqatsi. It's a thoughtful meditation that stretches the medium of cinema. Guy who's seen 2,000 films. Y'all really got to check out Crank 2 High Voltage. It goes hard. Anyway, long story short, I just can't imagine being 46 years old and being like, check out this AI-generated Pixar meme that references like pornography. It's hilarious. Also, I'm a little worried about society, because when people were talking about like, oh, AI is going to cause problems, it got shot, because we won't be able to tell like what's AI and what's not. I was like, sure, maybe one day, but not today. I can tell like every single time. But then, like 40% of blue check replies on Twitter to viral posts are restating the original post, but in different words. And people reply as if they're a real person. And I'm like, you're cooked. Like, if you're getting beat by ChatGPT-4 bots on Twitter right now, you have no future. Your ass is getting killed in the robot war. It's so over. Well, I think that most of those people are not in positions of power, so it's probably okay. But here's what I think we should do to fix the problem. If you get got by a bot, that bot gets to take over your life in society, because they are going to do more with it. Sorry if that offends you. You trade places with the bot. You become the bot. Now, that doesn't mean you're toast. It just means you're in the gulag. You have to then trick another human being when you're in bot mode into thinking that you're a human being, and then you take their spot. Like, I'll tell you, my ass is not going to the gulag to somebody like an AI-generated person that doesn't exist wearing a suit. Their name is like Doctor something to give them an air of authority. They've got 6 followers. They say, like, I'm an expert in nutrition. By the way, all of my posts are replies to pop tings about Jada Pinkett Smith. I'm not going down like that. Maybe in 5-10 years, you'll catch me in the gulag. I'll be like, I got by someone that said something that I already agreed with what they said, and that let my guard down. My own bias made me lose my skepticism, and now you find me in the AI gulag. What if Pixar made a movie that wasn't appropriate? Oh, a crying emoji is the fucking funniest. What if a fucking dog was a fucking cat, bro? Holy shit. Can you even say that? Dogs are not cats, man. That would be crazy. Now, I know what you're going to say. What if a baby was a boss? Let's not go crazy, okay? That movie's got some artistic merit to it. And now the kind of guy to ask for the bill by saying, what's the damage? I'm really not, librarian, okay? I know you're trying to... there must be a new video on the whiteboard behind you. Video idea. And now the kind of guy 2 compilation or something like that. How do I ask for the check? I say, can we get the bill as well, please? And now the kind of guy to pay after eating. I still think, I don't think this is a take that's going to surprise anybody. I've been talking about this for years. I still think restaurants have dropped the ball a little bit. Every restaurant, in my opinion, should have the Korean-style buzzer on the table, so that if you're ready, you sit down. When you're ready to order, you press the buzzer. They bring the food. If you need something else, you press the buzzer. You don't have to wait for the server to come back and say, hey, do you guys need anything? How are those first few bites treating you? You just, you ignore me until I hit the buzzer. I hit the buzzer and ask you for the bill. We're good to go. It'll save us so much wasted time coming to my table for no reason. And you got shit to do, I'm sure, or you could just be relaxing. 90% of the time, they could just bring the entrees and the bill at exactly the same time. Depends on the restaurant. Like some places, it might be a dessert place, but some places it's not. But I'm telling you, the buzzer is the way to go. I saw someone say, yeah, that wouldn't be abused. You know what? This goes back to that like August bit of like in North America, we don't believe that we can have nice things. If someone's in the restaurant, mash it on the buzzer, you say, here's the bill, get out of my restaurant. We can have nice things, man. We can have a buzzer at the restaurant table. Also, either way, fuck you. I deserve nice things. I can handle it. Just because some fucking 16-year-old can't stop himself from pressing the button, we have to slow down the rest of society? Fuck that. The restaurant can call the cops on that kid and ruin his life. We would save minutes collectively every year with this buzzer technology, I'm telling you. And also, I think it's going that way anyway. It's the path of least resistance. In 20 years, Every restaurant's going to have a buzzer, and you're going to have to tell your kids, probably your fucking nieces and nephews, actually. You're going to have to tell your dog that you were on the wrong side of history. That I was here as one of the progenitors on the leading edge, and you tried to work against progress. How are you going to feel when you're saying that? I went to a Canadian brew house this weekend. They had buzzers for the whole table. It's already started. It's already begun. You really think I would tell you my plan if it wasn't in motion? I put the buzzers on the table of the real Canadian brew house 30 minutes ago. Bro thinks he's Buzzymandius. When the words fit perfectly like that, you know you're striking gold, right? Buzzymandius. Probably good. Okay, Buzzymandius. That's like a mouth style. You can just walk over it? Americans, when they come to Europe and see a road, what is it? You can just walk over it. Oh, I see. I had a very European interaction on the road today. I was driving down a street that is two-way traffic, but only one car can fit on it because cars are allowed to park on both sides of the street. So I was basically in Italy. Dude in front of me, parallel parked, no problem. Congratulations, sir, well done. He got out of the driver's side of his car, no problem. Where else is he gonna get out? This motherfucker, because I couldn't get past him because there's cars coming the other way at this point. This motherfucker opened the door, the driver's side door, but in the passenger seat, right? Like one row back. And I was like, no problem, he's probably getting his kid out of a car seat. Otherwise, surely he would get around and grab his bags from like the other side so he's not impeding the entire flow of traffic on the road, right? No. Dude roots around in his car for like 35 seconds, pulls out reusable shopping bags, then closes the door, gets out in the middle of the road, stretches, looks around, and then crosses to the other side of the road. I was like, there's a lot of people in Canada that are lucky they're living in Canada. I live in Canada as if it's the United States. I try to get out of people's way because people are crazy enough. They don't need a reason to come at you. Try that shit in the big town. Exactly. I'm dead. The Costco is driving me crazy. I've never seen... Well, you see like an 11-year-old kid, and he's like, messing around with a shopping cart. You're like, he's 11. What do you expect? When I saw like grown adults that were driving their shopping carts backwards, like just leaving them akimbo in the aisles and stuff like that, what is going on in society these days? You know what Costco needs? Hear me out. Costco needs a lair under the Costco that is a parking garage for shopping carts. So when you go to an aisle, you can go down a ramp, put your shopping cart down there in a parking spot, and then go through that section of the store, freehand a bunch of stuff, leisurely look around. You're not dodging people left, right, and center. Grab all the stuff you need from that quadrant of the store, go into the underground shopping cart parking garage, get your shopping cart, and then drive it back up. Oh, wait, this commentary is quite bad. What the hell, man? We're saving society one insane idea at a time. What do you want from me? What kind of, you want the standard streamer commentary? Okay, here's one for you for free. Oh, my DoorDash is here. It's a reused bit. Brother, I invented it. You're out here Googling like barbecue chicken recipes. I'm inventing the mother sauces. Who's gonna talk about a reused bit? Impressed you can still read chat while playing kinda good. This must be sad because people are starting to be nice to me. Like the third time you die against the boss, people are like, focus, dumbass. We were fighting them for like an hour and a half. People were like, wow, you're doing pretty well. Oh no, that's my cue. We gotta move on. For a non-gamer, it's pretty good. Just gotta acknowledge, I'm kind of like a non-gamer these days. For someone who games on stream, I am kind of a non-gamer, I suppose. I don't really do it that much in my downtime anymore, because I don't have, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say I don't have downtime. I just take my downtime from approximately 6 to 8 a.m. on the Peloton. That's my downtime.
To the followers of the
We can tell. Hey, I have been working out pretty hard. Oh, you were talking about the gamer stuff. Everybody's a non-gamer. Till it's dinner time and she wants sushi again? Listen, Mad Dog, speak on that. I understand the joke. Don't get me wrong. +2, +2, +2. Oh, so when Mad Dog Nation is sexist, it's a +2. When I do it, people are trying to gaslight me into thinking that, like, they're actually offended. Yes. Okay. Well, at least now I know. He's pointing out that you're sexist, which is funny, not sexist. I'm not sexist. Facts don't care about your feelings. I bet, you know what? We gotta get it. Does anyone here own a sushi restaurant? I got some questions for you. Also, does anyone here own a pizzeria? We probably don't have any sushi restaurant owners here. I could kind of see pizzeria owners. We do have a Tim Hortons franchisee. I know that, and like, it's your lot in life. I'm not making like a personal attack, but I do not like Tim Hortons. I think it's one of the worst quote-unquote restaurants that exists in Canada for sure. We'll leave it at that. I could go a little deeper. But then every time, well, not every time. One time I talked about how much I hate Tim Hortons, and the guy was like, hey, I own 3 Tim Hortons on Vancouver Island. Why don't you come over here and we'll show you how good the food could be? I don't know, I phrased it as if it was like the threat of violence, but they were very nice. But I said, no, that's not gonna happen. Come on, brother, you're really gonna make me, I'm gonna go to the Tim Hortons, you're gonna feed me a fucking Sodexo donut and some Cisco potato wedges, but like fresh out the fryer, and I'm gonna be like, yum, let's not do that to each other. Okay, we know how the game is played. Tim Hortons is not entering any blind taste tests against, you know, a respectable coffee shop. Sodexo, I gotta eat their shit-ass food on the daily. Are you in prison or are you in college right now? Sodexo catered my university's dining hall. The thing I always think about, neither I work at a hospital. The thing I always think about with Sodexo is like, it's edible food that's not good. I get like it's all about the Benjamins, right? The almighty Aller. But like, I always remember that like they would have shrimp sometimes, and we'd be like, yum, shrimp. The shrimp were always, oh my God. The shrimp were always like the little tiny shrimp, like that were approximately this big. They never had like real shrimp. Like, I don't know what was going on. I know you're saying beige shrimp. I'm telling you, they were like even smaller than that. They were like, yeah, they were krill. They were like the stuff that shrimp eat. And then it would be like, hey, can I have some garlic shrimp? And they put like 4 of those fuckers on a cup of instant rice and be like, this is a premium meal. And you're like, what? No wonder everybody's gaining 30 pounds just eating like pepperoni pizza for every meal. Also, the other thing, this, I don't know if Sodexo did the catering, I guess it's not catering, food service, whatever you call it. Catering gussies it up a little bit, but I don't know if they did the catering at the hospital where we had Luna. That was just a disaster, I'm sorry. But like, my wife just gave birth, okay? I'm not saying we need to have like, oh, freshly cooked Belgian waffles with creme fraiche on them and like strawberries straight from the garden. But she was like, oh, I'm so hungry. What can we get? We look at the breakfast menu. She said, can I get a waffle and 2 sausages? Okay, no problem. She literally just had birth, right? The sausages came out. They were like cocktail wieners. Just like simmering in grease. And then the waffle was like this big. Like, I'm trying to think of what a good approximation is. Imagine like 4 AA batteries stacked on top of one another. That was the size of the waffle. You better pray that I never figure out how much you bill the taxpayer for that waffle and those sausages. I get it. I get the hustle, motherfucker. But if they're out there, that's like a $30 breakfast from the hospital for that piece of shit garbage tissue paper waffle and breakfast sausage. It's crazy. Where's the money, Lebowski? I know where the money is. Fucking Greg Sodexo of the Sodexo family. Hey, he worked hard for it. You know how hard it is to get those little shrimp? That's why we can't have fucking nice things, dude. Fuck the restaurant buzzer. It's because of Greg Sodexo and the Galen Weston cartel. All right, win this one so I can leave to pick up my GF. That's me tuning into Chibli's stream at 3:58. I have to leave to pick up my daughter from daycare at 4. And this motherfucker's like, I'm gonna start the game right now, and then he gets sidetracked in just chatting, watching like some guy in Singapore make oat milk lattes for another 10 minutes. I'm like, please, please! Just let me see you make 1 tangerine, please! Hi, can I get a fucking cheese foam oat milk boba tea? Oh, Chibli's like, I gotta see this. Please, for some reason, the only thing that'll let my brain feel fulfilled is if I see like the title screen of the game come up right now, because I have mental illness. You ever watch those Korean coffee shop videos? No, motherfucker. I don't know what to say after. I was gonna say I'm normal, but that's obviously false, but no. I don't even like go to the coffee shop. This shit drives me crazy. Okay, I've lived in Korea. I've been to Japan many times. Like all these videos, like a motherfucker goes to 7-Eleven and it's all like ASMR. Like you can hear the camera running. It's always like a nice deep tone that's just always in the background. And then you see like a dude's hand pick up like the shittiest looking instant food of all time and describe it as if it's like a Michelin starred meal. Corn dog in ketchup mayonnaise. A nice salty American style snack. 390 yen. And then you see him like open the package and then put it into the microwave. Beep, beep, beep. And then like a slurry of garbage comes out and it opens it up and the steam like burns his hands and shit like that. And then he's like, squishy and meaty. This is truly delicious. And then all the people in the comments are like, oh my God, your life is like a movie. I'm like, what the fuck what is wrong with us, man? I'm not hating on the guy making the content. Like, that's all okay. I'm just like, I've lived that lifestyle. I've gone to the GS25 in South Korea when I didn't speak English and bought like a fucking bologna and a packet of Ritz crackers. I ate that shit with all my winter clothes on, burning the fuck up, sitting there at the bar inside of the GS25. No, my life was like a movie. It was like Lost in Translation, age 21 edition. It was not like Kimi no Nawa or something like that. It's true. No one ever does that shit with like, you know, Afghanistan. There's never like 8 dudes eating stew in the mountains, yucking it up, laughing with each other. All the comments are like, wow, I wish that was me and my buddies. This shit's always like just you lonely looking at your phone in like a rain-soaked Tokyo neon metropolis. I want to go in the mountains and eat some stew, dude, with my boys. I don't want to eat a damn microwaved hamburger in the 7-Eleven by myself. People will do that and be like, oh, dude, I'm in my Cowboy Bebop arc right now. No, you're not, bro. You're cultivating heart disease. Listen, I understand the hypocrisy of criticizing them for the video. I would like to point out again, I'm not criticizing the guy who's making the 7-Eleven food. That's a damn hustle. He's got the greatest job in the world. I am criticizing the people in Ohio who watch that video and are like, God, I wish that were me. But I guess it's like human nature to be wistful. You ever see that video of the Japanese guy who makes those like convenience store food videos? And he goes on a cruise, and the whole thing about the cruise is that like there's no human food workers. All the food that you get comes in vending machines, but it's like hot food. It's not just like potato chips. Like you can get like steaks and soups and stews and sandwiches and stuff like that, and salads. And then he goes on the cruise and he's so excited. And every single meal, he's like, this isn't very good actually. And then like it's 9 days long or something. I think it's only like 3 days long, but every single meal, like, he's like, the Hamburg steak looks good here. And then I'm like, the lie of the century. And then he pulls it out of the package and it looks like shit. And then he microwaves it and it looks like shit. And then he, like, the subtitle is always like, it smells a little off. It gets me every time. Because most of the time, they lie, right? Oh, so crunchy, so salty, it's delicious. But like this guy was like, he couldn't even spit, he was eating like some fucking lukewarm taco salad or something like that. It always reminds me of Kinoshita Yuka. Shove like 8 McDonald's meals into a rice cooker and then cook it up. And then she eats it and she's like, yum, it's so savory. Kinoshita Yuka, after she ate 8 32-ounce tomahawk steaks with horseradish on top of them. So rich and delicious. Oh, lady, come on. The other people might buy that, but I've been around the block a few times. How do you really feel? My stomach is fucked right now, dude. Thank you for asking. Oh my God. I know. It must be. That's a lot of beef. It's crazy how beatable this guy is. Oh! I'm so good at this game. This is called an affirmation. It's when you tell lies to yourself, like, I'm worth it. To trick yourself into believing falsehoods. Please stop. Oh, well, am I blowing up your whole industry, therapist? You be like, I'm sad. Your therapist is like, here's some homework. Why don't you lie to yourself in the mirror for 30 minutes every morning? Pay me $260. Let me know how you feel about it 2 weeks from now, when I get back from Cabo San Lucas. That yacht's not going to pay for itself. Okay, here, let's not slander people, okay? The therapist is not buying a yacht. They're probably more or less getting by with a middle-class income. The person who is getting the yacht, and they deserve to, is the person who owns the building that the therapist is operating out of. As we know, the person who started the conglomerate that the therapist signed under to be independent contractors, so that they didn't have to deal with all the overhead of starting up their own practice, which is very expensive, finding a building, signing a long-term lease or something like that, hiring their own staff. Instead, you just give the company like 20% off the top and they handle that for you. Despite not really doing anything, not doing much. Not doing any therapy, that's for sure. I'm gonna give you a bunch of +2s for that. How did you know that? Well, I talk with my therapist, which is crazy. Because she doesn't pay me shit. So every time she's talking, I'm listening out of politeness. But there is a part of me that's kind of like, what are we doing here? You should invoice her? But that's the thing, is like, I don't think she would take it kindly, which is crazy. Because when she invoices me, she says, you know, therapy is very valuable. NL on Dr. K would be interesting. See, this is why I'm the smartest streamer. I would never live stream a therapy session. I get it, because, like, he's the doctor. He's got to do it. But, like, my ass, there's no shot you would catch me live streaming a therapy session. You'd be, like, out of your mind. The therapy session is for me. I get the idea that, like, it could help a lot of people out there deal with their issues. I got my own... The reason I'm talking to a therapist is not to help you out. I got my own knots I gotta untangle, brother. You've stun-locked librarian? I don't know. Librarian's like, I'm going crazy trying to figure out if his therapist is real. What are you talking about? You're the crazy one. Do you hear the sentence? Why would I lie about that? She says, the therapist your wife. Are you crazy? Least married individual of all time? I'm gonna go to my wife and say some shit about, like, some traumatic memory from when I was, like, 8. When my mom made me cry or something like that. You want her to lose all respect for me? Come on. I've got to maintain a certain degree of masculinity in her eyes. You can't be saying that shit to your spouse. You're supposed to sleep together. You're not gonna give her the ick like that. You gotta be careful. He's so right. I don't know if you should say that. I don't think that I'm right.
Humanity must be born again.
I don't know. Maybe this is therapy for men. That's a weird sentence. Maybe this is part of men's therapy right here, is me talking about husband life. Sometimes something will be bothering me, and my wife will be like, what's wrong? And I gotta weigh the destruction of my image in her eyes versus being honest about what's bothering me. Because you definitely cannot be like, oh, I was just driving home and, like, Creep came on the radio and hit me a little different. You're cooked, brother. You just lost. Next time you're on the freeway, Creep comes on, she's gonna be like, do you need to pull over? One ticket to Ixville. That's a little sad. I don't think so. I think because you're phrasing it like, oh, I can't be honest with my wife. I could be honest with my wife, but if, like, there's something embarrassing that's making me feel bad, I'm like, I would. It's not that I would tell it to someone else necessarily. I'll just keep that shit inside. Nobody needs to know that Louis C.K. moment when you know, bust out crying to the final 45 seconds of Jungle Land that he talks about on Conan O'Brien. You just bring it up on stream instead. It's not healthy to keep it bottled up. Bro, I don't keep it bottled up. Boy therapy, girl therapy is talking to a professional who is equipped to handle your issues. Boy therapy is getting into a verbal altercation with DL Guiga after every Peloton ride. And then when you start the Peloton ride the next day, you go, whoa, what the hell? Where's DL Guiga? I miss him. Hey, should we wait for DL Guiga to show up today? I don't think boy therapy works. What are you gonna do, cry about it? Like that time Creep came on the radio? Was the Grink there? Boy therapy is getting into road rage at the Trader Joe's parking lot and then not telling your partner when you get home. I've never been to a Trader Joe's, but it seems like one of those places, perhaps. Do not have road rage in the Trader Joe's parking lot at 3:02 a.m. Okay, let me get in a slash marker, Liza of P /raid, and I will see you tomorrow. I don't know what we're doing basically any day this week, but it'll be fun. We'll figure it out. Later. Yeah, well, we're not the same, are we? Because my favorite commercial is, let's pretend we don't exist. Let's go to Outback tonight. I dream of bloke-sized lagers. Let's forget we ordered blooming onions now. Let's order 2 appetizers. I'll get the bloke-sized cactus fries, you'll get the bloomin' onion burger. Let's pretend we don't exist. Let's go to Outback tonight.